recognizable logo. At the same time, it was those same Johnson siblings, sons of a poor farmer and his baby-making machine of a wife, mother of 11, who saw the dire need and marketed the world's first sanitary, packaged, ready-to-use antiseptic surgical dressings at a time when doctors were still using rags to dress wounds and incisions. Their marketing inspiration came from the landmark work of the British surgeon and pioneer of antiseptic surgery, Dr. Joseph Lister, and their eponymous surgical dressings and plasters saved lives in wars and disasters and epidemics. After an apparent feud, the first of many vicious familial battles in the Johnson dynasty through the generations, one of the founding brothers, Edward Meade Johnson, split off and started his own eminent and very prosperous business. But there was a synergy between Johnson and Johnson of New Brunswick, New Jersey, and Meade Johnson and Company of Evansville, Indiana. While some of the Johnson & Johnson products powdered and oiled the dimpled bottoms of America's babies, many of Meade Johnson's helped to settle and feed their little tummies with pablum and cod liver oil. Before long, it became practically impossible to get well without products made by the New Jersey headquartered Johnson & Johnson that eventually became a publicly traded, global juggernaut with more than 250 companies located in some 60 countries. Generations have grown from bassinet to adulthood using Johnson & Johnson products, from baby powder and Band-Aids to the female sanitary pad Modus, to the schizophrenia drug Risperdal, to the pimple medication Remicade, the lubricant KY jelly, the over-the-counter cold and headache pill Tylenol, and scores more drugs and sundries. The red Johnson & Johnson script on the company's products actually was the handwriting of James Johnson, the second head of the family business following the passing of his ruling brother Robert. While the corporate side is one amazing international success story, the family members behind the household brand are even more astonishing. The Johnsons, through the generations, are to everyday healthcare products what the Kennedys have been to politics and public service: a genuine royal dynasty and an all-American Greek tragedy. The immense wealth accumulated by the first, second, and third generations of Johnson men, not women, who ran Johnson & Johnson, chauvinism reigned, made for regal lifestyles of their descendants through family trusts and inheritances, and the result was often vicious court battles over the money involved. One such mind-boggling case was ignited by the adult progeny of a Johnson senior over the $400 million he left his much younger wife, the family's former chambermaid, after divorcing his second wife, a suspected lesbian. In another of the many cases, a 12-year-long court battle ensued over the definition of just a single word, spouse, because tens of millions of inherited dollars were at stake. New Jersey's highest court once took a subtle shot at the very litigious Johnson family, noting that a case it was hearing is one of the many such disputes involving trusts or trust property that have arisen within the Johnson family over the past 3 decades. Johnson inherited wealth was immense. When Robert Wood Johnson, Jr., known as the General, Woody Johnson's grandfather, took the family-owned, privately held Johnson & Johnson Company public on the New York Stock Exchange on September 24, 1944, a block of 100 shares sold for $3,750. By the end of the 20th century, those same shares reportedly were worth a whopping $12 million, not including dividends, and with splits had ballooned to 125,000 shares. Every Johnson dynasty member, past, present, and future, became wealthy beyond anyone's imagination as the value soared in the open market. Many Johnsons never had to do much except clip coupons and live large. Woody Johnson, for one, never worked a day in his life in the Johnson dynasty's healthcare monster. He never had a chance. When he was still in prep school, his martinet of a grandfather, who ran the company with an iron hand, humiliatingly fired Woody's driven father from his position as company president. Like a scene in a Greek tragedy, the two, who hadn't spoken in years and were both critically ill, had virtual deathbed rapprochement.